Hello everyone. Today I'd like to talk to you about cooperative learning and based groups. So in this discussion I'm going to talk about what cooperative learning is and why we do it, what are some of the benefits, what are some of the challenges, what are base groups, and what you are expected to do in your base group. So what is cooperative learning? Bertrand Russell, a famous 20th century English philosopher, once said, "The only thing that will redeem humankind is cooperation." And what he means by that is the only way that we will be a productive society is if we learn how to cooperate, how to work together, and how to support one another. That's really the basis of what cooperation is. So the definition of cooperative learning. Cooperative learning was, I won't say created, but maybe formalized by the Johnson brothers who were at the University of Wisconsin. And they define cooperative learning as the instructional use of small groups so that students work together to maximize their own and each other's learning. Within the cooperative learning groups, students discuss the material to be learned with each other, help and assist each other to understand it, and encourage each other to work hard. So what cooperative learning requires is for the groups to actually work together as a support system, to answer each other's questions, to help study and prepare for quizzes and tests and proofreading each other's works, those kinds of activities that can help support your learning. You'll also work to discuss materials together so that you can check for understanding, make sure that everybody gets what's going on and what's being discussed. So what are some of the benefits of cooperative learning? You get better grades, and this has been statistically proven by years and years of research with the Johnson brothers, or done by the Johnson brothers. You have more positive relationships. So what cooperative learning allows you to do is to get to know your classmates, your colleagues, your team members in a deeper professional manner. Your motivation increases. When you do well, you're motivated to continue to do well. And when you do well, you feel good about yourself, so you have higher self-esteem. When you fail a test or you don't get a very good grade, you don't really feel really great about yourself, and you're usually kind of frustrated. Also, being in cooperative learning groups helps you to spend more time on task and to accomplish more. And in general, you have a better attitude about learning. You can see how all of these benefits can really help strengthen you as a student. Some additional benefits is you take responsibility for your own learning. So you understand, hey, I've got to figure this out because I'm part of a group and the group is counting on me to understand my part or what I need to do. This next point, I think, is one of the most important benefits from being in a cooperative learning group, and that is that you translate teacher talk into student speak. So chances are, if I give an assignment and one person or two people in your group don't understand it, there's probably someone in the group who can explain the assignment more clearly. You can use that for reading assignments. You can use that for essay assignments. Any way you want to look at it, you'll be able to better understand. At least probably one person will get it, and by talking to each other, you can explain it better. There's also a hidden benefit of that. What research has shown is that when students teach something or explain something to someone else, their learning is deeper and clearer. So it's really a good benefit for everybody in the group. You can get another really important benefit is that you engage in cognitive collaboration. What cognitive collaboration means is that think about it this way. You've probably heard the old adage, two heads are better than one. Well, you can think of a good idea, but when you toss that idea out to the group, people can add to it, change it a little bit, tweak it here and there, and you can come up with a really great idea that you wouldn't necessarily have done if you'd just been thinking on your own. So thinking in a group environment can really push you to get much further and much deeper into the material. You actually can have fun learning. So it's not this independent, quiet thing to yourself, but that you're actually enjoying talking to your group members about different reading assignments, different general assignments, and figuring things out together. This last point should not be diminished either, and that your social nature is developed in constructive and useful ways. The way you will work together in your groups really mirrors the way that you will work in groups and teams in your professional life. So whether you're online or face-to-face, you're going to be working with people who may not be present, who may not be sitting next to you. And so you're going to have to deal with those time issues, the asynchronicity of your conversations, and you're going to have to learn how to deal with deadlines. And those are all really important skills that you're going to need to have to be well developed in your professional career. So base groups, and this is what I have put you in this semester. The definition of a base group is a long-term heterogeneous cooperative learning group with stable membership that meets on a regular basis. Now what heterogeneous means is different. So you have different levels of academic achievement, different levels of knowledge, different levels of motivation, different majors. So you're a group with all different learning styles, thinking styles, and academic goals. And you meet together on a regular basis to discuss the course materials. In order for cooperative learning and for the base groups to work well, you have to have what is called positive interdependence skills. And positive interdependence, think of interdependence as working together. A dependent is someone who requires someone to help him or her. Someone who is independent does it on their own. And interdependence means working together. So you're interdependent with each other. So positive interdependence, some of the traits of positive interdependence. You work together collaboratively. You're responsible for learning all of the assigned material. So for example, say I give a group an assignment to read a particular piece or chapter and present that to the class. Well, the rest of the class is still responsible for learning that material, even though one group is focusing on it more perhaps or more in depth than the other groups. However, you're still responsible. If your group divides up the chapter and gives you a subheading of that chapter or a piece of that chapter, you're still responsible for knowing all of the elements in that chapter, but you're going to focus a little bit more on explaining a particular piece or passage. So another part of positive interdependence is that the group members make sure that everyone understands that and successfully completes the assignment. So you send emails or you ask people, how are you doing? Is it, do you understand everything? How's it going? You communicate with each other. Communication is really the key to good, successful, collaborative work, because if you don't talk to each other, you obviously can't collaborate. In order to collaborate, you must say, hey, what's going on? Do you need help with this? Or you must say, I don't understand this. Can you help explain what I need to do here or what this means? So collaboration truly requires communication and does not exist without that. One part of the collaborative or positive interdependence in the base groups and collaborative learning, all of it, is when you are assigned group assignments, everyone puts their name on that assignment. Since we're online, you'll simply type your name to that assignment. By typing your name to that assignment, you have pledged, it's sort of like the honor pledge, you have said that this is my work, I have contributed to this. And by your group or team members allowing you to put your name on that assignment, they are also affirming that you have participated in the creation of the assignment. So how do you make this happen in your group? When you're working together online, again, it can be challenging, but there are some key things that you can actually do that can help your communication, that can improve it, and that can help how you work together. When you're trying to explain something to someone, it's always a good idea to relate something that they know or that they've previously learned to something new. So you take the old and you build upon it. So you start at a common place and then you grow. And that's a good way just overall of how we naturally learn. So that's a good way to start talking about a particular analysis, assignment, what have you. You want to make sure that everybody understands the material, everybody agrees with the answers that the group has developed, so everybody's on the same page. So again, this is where communication is key. Do we all agree this such and such? And you can do this from the very first when you're talking about creating a icon or an image that represents the group. What is it that everybody can agree on? Same thing with the name. You want to all come to agreement with the name. Encourage everyone to participate. And this is extremely important. Because you are a heterogeneous group, you're going to have people who are quiet, people who will just do whatever they're told, the worker bees, and you're going to have people that like to take over, and you're going to have people in all different ranges and that do different behaviors depending on assignments and where they are in their life at a particular time. But what every member is responsible for is making sure that everyone participates. And the flip side of that is, in order to get participation, you have to listen to what all the group members are saying. Now, you may not be talking to each other in the traditional sense, but you'll be writing to each other. And you need to make sure that you carefully read your discussion board posts, your emails, your communications with each other, so that everybody understands what's going on and that you're really coming to agreement. You're coming to some kind of consensus when you're making decisions. Encourage each other to use logic to find answers, not group think. The majority rules doesn't work in cooperative learning. It's not let's vote 3-1 or 2-2 or 3-4. That's not how you get things done. You have to all agree. You might not think it's the best idea, but you agree that for this particular assignment, this is the way we're going to go, and you're going to support it. It's really important, and it's equally as important to make sure that everyone is heard. Again, I can't encourage that or stress that enough. You really want everyone in the group to be a part of the learning experience. Another important item to remember is that you criticize ideas, not people. And when I say criticize, I don't mean you say that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, but you say ways that you can criticize, because criticize doesn't have to be negative. When you're critiquing something, you can have good and bad in it. But what you want to do is you want to question them to kind of tease out what their meaning is. So you said we should do X. Why do you think that X is the best thing to do? Where are you going with that? So that you can better understand what the group member is talking about. It's important to understand that group work doesn't succeed unless there's individual accountability. Every person in the group must take responsibility for his and her own learning. So every member has learned the material. Every member has helped complete the task. And then I need to frequently give you feedback and to assess both group tasks and individual learning. So you will get a group assignment for an activity, and you will also get an individual assignment. That individual assignment will be based on your own and others' critique of your work. in the group. So, everybody can't be perfect. You may have a bad week where you can't participate as much as you did in the previous assignment. That's okay. Just be honest and say what's what, and, reflect that to your group members. Again, communication. I can't stress that enough. So some of the positive team behaviors. These behaviors will help make working in your group much easier and focused. Contribute ideas. There's no such thing as a bad idea. Even if the idea isn't accepted by the group, when you're throwing ideas out, what you're doing is sharing information, sharing your thoughts, and you will spark another idea in someone else. Or your idea, just by speaking it or writing it, as the case may be, might spark another idea in someone else. So it's important to put your ideas out there because they may help in ways that might not be apparent immediately, but can actually really contribute importantly to the group. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're frustrated and you don't ask questions, you can't get the support and the help that you need. So ask questions. Express your feelings. Be willing to say, this is really frustrating for me. Can you please explain it to me? Or I love this. This is so much fun. I really enjoyed reading this, or I really enjoyed this assignment. Listen actively. Now, you probably in most instances won't be talking to each other in the traditional sense, but again, you'll be writing to each other. And you may talk to each other depending on how your group decides to engage with one another. But the important point is that if your communication is in writing, that you carefully read and quickly respond. I know everybody's busy and everybody's got things that they're doing, but if one of your group members sends you an email and asks you a question, respond to that as soon as you possibly can. As soon as you possibly can is not a week later. It literally will take you 1 minute, so make sure that you respond to people as soon as you possibly can. Express acceptance towards group members. You don't have to like each other, but you have to work together congenially. So be nice to each other, support each other, be kind, encourage each other. When someone has said something or when the group has thrown together ideas, summarize the ideas. So what we're saying is that we're going to do X, Y, and Z. Sue's going to do this, Mary's going to do this, John's going to do this, Tom's going to do this. Okay, that's great. So I'm summarizing. Ask each other if they understand. Do you understand? Have fun, joke. Don't be stressed out all the time. Don't be afraid to give direction to the group. Your group may decide to have a group leader, or you may change group leaders depending on assignments, or you may not have any group leader and just decide to work together. Regardless of how you do it, whether you're a group leader or not, don't be afraid to give direction, to say, I really don't think that's what we're supposed to be doing. I think we should be doing this. And if you're not sure, ask. You can ask me. You can discuss it among each other, that kind of a thing. So don't be afraid to give direction to the group. Excellent team members, what are some of their traits? They encourage each other to master course content and to complete assignments on time. They check to see which assignments have been completed and what still needs to be done. They discuss the assignments, provide information about what a member missed or misunderstood. They help each other with test or quiz preparation. They review missed questions. That's really important because if you miss a question and you don't understand why you got it wrong or how you got it wrong, or you just don't understand the question, by talking to others that can help you understand why you missed the question that you did, so that you do better as you continue to have other assignments. And always, 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 always Help each other with proofreading and editing. If you turn documents into me that aren't carefully proofread and edited, I'm going to turn them back to you with less than a passable grade. So make sure that you work really hard to present your best work. And you want everybody in the group is responsible for that. Not one person, but everyone should be responsible for ensuring that the work that you submit has been carefully proofread, edited, and spell checked. In your base group, your goal is to monitor each other's academic progress to ensure that all members comprehend and learn course materials. Now, this is part of your goal. As you work together in your groups, setting your groups up in this next week, you'll want to consider, okay, what is my goal for working together in this group? Do I want to get an A? Does everyone in the class want to get an A? Some of you may be quite satisfied with a C. So you need to talk about that. What are your motivations? What is it in the long term that you hope to get out of this experience and out of this course so that you can look back at it and say that was successful or that was positive or I achieved my goal. So think about that and have an honest discussion about your individual goals so that you can work together to create a group goal. And that's the end. If you have any questions, please post your questions in the I Have a Question forum, or you can email me directly, or even better yet, you can talk to your group members and see if they can help. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon.